Guys, we are here to show you some Southern Sierra fishing spots. We're going to try to keep this one short and sweet and just kind of get it all to you guys so you guys can get to these spots. So first spot, when you're headed northbound, you're looking for Cottonwood Road. This is a small little road here, Cottonwood Road. So when you're on the 395 near the Owens Dry Lake Bed, just a tiny little road turn off. There it is, guys. Just that little left turn. It'll take you up into this canyon here. And all along this road, they will plant in some of the pools. It's not one of the better spots that I'm going to tell you guys about right now, but it's pretty quiet up here. It's not highly traveled, so there's a lot of bushwhacking to get to some of these pools, but there's some nice fish in there. And if you know anything about the area, you might find a few surprises that you can catch in this creek. We won't tell you about it, but we'll let you find out on your own if you're willing to go up in there and fish it. So yeah, good spot, guys. Not a bad spot. So here we go. Let's see. We will head northbound and show you the next spot, which is Lone Pine. Lone Pine. So as we go into Lone Pine, you got Diaz Lake. That's number 2 spot. This is really just an early spring spot here. They stock it pretty heavy from about March through May, and then after that they don't plant it anymore because this lake maxes out at about 10 feet deep. It was formed when the 1872 Lone Pine quake hit, and the earthquake fault actually runs right through here on the lake, and it raised up and flooded this guy's ranch, the Diaz Ranch here. This creek right here used to be just run through the ranch and in and out. And it flooded. So after the earthquake fault, so you can go here and actually see. It's kind of a neat thing to go see. You can see it a little bit right there. You can see the edge of it. But yeah, it lifted up right here, and this valley that the lake sits in. And we gotta recycle that and get some. There we go. So this whole valley, what happened is it's splitting apart. One spot's moving a little bit that way, and the other one's moving kind of north and west, and the fault zone split. And when it did, it opened up, created Diaz Lake by lifting up and blocking the creek. So yeah, early spring, guys, hit this early. This is like one of the first lakes to get any kind of action. I'd say after May, it's pretty hot, and they start running jet skis and stuff out here. You don't want to do that. So once you're in Lone Pine, you'll see these turnoffs like the 136. This spot, anywhere in the Southern Sierra you see a road crossing over the Owens River, you can fish that area. There are fish here. It gets real hot down here in the summer, guys, so you definitely want to fish this in the winter, as you can see there. And then you can drive. There's little roads off to the side here. See, there's one there, and then on this side over, I think it's like another block down, but you can go down and drive along the river in different areas. You can see here, and this is what they call the Southern or Lower Owens. That's, as it's more famously called, the Lower Owens fishing area. And they do pretty good in here, guys. There's some big pools, and they can, there's some monster fish in this area. You just gotta kind of do your own work and hike around in there, and then you'll find some of those fish. But it's not an easy place to fish. If you're looking for just an armchair fishing spot, that's not it, guys. So make sure you, if you're gonna go there, be ready to do a little bit of walking and hiking and four-wheeling. So all right, northbound. We're in the city of Lone Pine now. We're going to go back to satellite so you guys can see these. This is a sand trap spot. Sand traps are basically spots near the LA aqueduct system that they want to add water to the system, but block it off with a sand trap before it to collect the silt before it pours into this aqueduct. And these sand traps are located up and down, and they stock them with fish to basically control mosquitoes and to give the sportsmen an opportunity. As you can see here, this one was filled up with silt, but you can see there were a couple of guys fishing it anyway. But yeah, it's pretty good, guys. It gets real busy. It's right off the road, very popular spot. Whitney Porter Road from 395, make a left going northbound, cross over the aqueduct, look for the dirt road, and there you go. there are a few of these spots along here, but let's talk about the next one, the Lone Pine Narrow Gauge Road. So this actually takes you out over the Owens as well. You see there's a spot there. Pretty good spot here along the Owens. This is where the old railroad used to be. The historical railroad used to come through here. Pretty neat, guys. If you ever get a chance, go look up these old narrow gauge road history. The railroad, see, here it is. This is the old tracks right here. And you can see there used to be a little train station and whatnot here. It's all sandy and gone. There's nothing left. But you can see the narrow gauge road railway went all the way up the canyon, all the way up the valley here. You see it there? Pretty neat. Good history. So anyway, look that up. That's chasing a little rabbit there. So anyway, headed northbound still. You're going to pass the Whitney Cemetery and all that, and then you're going to see a series of creeks along the way, and that's really what you're looking for next. Let's get over to terrain so you guys can see this. So you're going to head north, and then you're going to come through some more sand traps, and that's really what you're looking for most of the Southern Sierra. So we have Tuttle Creek. We'll just zoom over by Googling it, Tuttle Creek. So when you get to Tuttle, this is right off of 395, guys. You can't miss it. So this is along the back side of Diaz and the Lone Pine area. But this is all fishable, guys. There's fish all through here, basically in the Alabama hills and all that. Definitely check that out, guys. Just a small little spot. Very famous for some kind of like overlanders like this area to go camping, because it's kind of like, you know, it's not too formal. Pretty open fishing and camping in this area. The creek's pretty neat. Really small creek, guys. Not talking about a big old river or anything. It's a tiny creek that they put some 6 to 10 inch trout. So the next spot up would be Lone Pine Creek, of course. And same thing, it just runs right through town, and there it is there. And you can fish this all the way up until the Whitney Portal. And then you can see there Whitney Portal, and then right there in the Whitney Portal picnic area, there's a little lake, and then they stock this pond every year. They put fish in there. Now you want to try to fish it earlier in the season rather than later, because this will dry up as the season goes on. But in the early spring, man, there's some fun little fishing in there. Throw a jig or a small spinner, and you'll have a good time in there. But yeah, there's fishing all through this canyon, all the way down into town here. It's all fishable, guys. So give that a chance if you're looking for some easy fishing there. And then headed even further north, you can go here. I got a little list here so I can remember them all, as I don't really usually fish them all, but here's a couple more. This is George Creek. I'll go over there. So this creek here, as it runs down, will also cross the highway. And this one has a sand trap. So here's the George Creek sand trap. One of the lesser knowns. They dredged this one out. They drained it and then dredged it, and it took them 2 years to fill this one back up, because we went through a drought. Big sand trap here, pretty good George's Creek sand trap. So right off the highway, there's a left turn. You're looking for these cottonwood trees off the highway. That's the easiest way. It's easier to actually spot this one going southbound and get to it going southbound rather than northbound. But that's what you're looking for, is right here. It's right in these trees. Pretty hard spot to see otherwise, but you're going to drive in and park here and then fish in there. Pretty good spot, guys. They can stock some decent fish in that one. Also, at times can be pretty popular, so don't get too carried away with that one as far as thinking you're going to have it to yourself. You probably won't. The next spot would be Shepherd's Creek. So Shepherd Creek. Does I spell out? All right. Oh no, that's why. Shepherd Creek. CA. Let's see if it's going to take me there. Okay. There we go. Shepherd. And then obviously follow it till it crosses the highway. And then this whole area along here is fishable. There's a small campground, some very small creek water here though, man. It's tiny. It's a tiny creek, guys. But they do plant it. They do plant this little creek. And it's not as popular with people, but they have a small sand trap here. It's usually pretty good, but the problem here is water. It can get real musty down here in the summer. It doesn't really flow that great in the late summer. So fish this one early, guys. Don't wait too long if you're going to fish it. And then there's the last one of these creeks is the Sims Creek. This is another one along the highway. As you can see, it flows out here and it runs along here and then boom, crosses the highway. Same thing, very small fishing, guys. And they also have their sand traps. And these sand traps also, like I said about the other ones, they do drain. They don't keep water in them. But here we go. See, that's where it joins the aqueduct system, and they have a sand trap system there. But can be good, but usually it's pretty quiet fishing here. I haven't had that much luck there over the years, but I did have a friend who went there and fished it and caught a 10-pound trout. I'm not kidding. I saw a picture of it, and he caught that bad boy right out of the creek, right here. I'm in one of this area right in here near the highway. So obviously DFG had put something nice in there. So headed up to Independence Creek, obviously right there in town. There's a little park. Go up to the Independence campground, which is just above the town here. There's the campground, and they stock all on this campground. And there is the airport, and then see, here you go. So right near the airport, follow the dirt road out, and it will lead you to another fish trap. Right there. There's a back way, and then there's like this little side road here. But yeah, there's another trap. There it is there. Pretty good spot. Usually quite busy with the locals. Locals usually fish that. Pretty heavily stocked spot. There's some good fishing in there. But it can also get a little musty in the summer, and they may even stop planting that. So that's the end of the fish traps. I want you guys to see this spot, Baker. Okay. This is the furthest north I will take you guys, is the Baker Creek Campground. Right here in Big Pine, real close to town, ancient bristlecone forest. There's a small campground here, and then they do plant these ponds that are in this treed area. It's a really pretty spot, but extremely busy, guys. Very busy. Probably one of the most popular areas to fish in the Southern Sierra these days. Very, very busy, but not a bad little spot, full of mosquitoes in the late summer, so bring your bug juice if you're going to fish this spot. But it's a good one. It's not a bad little place. So as for the Owens and my last spot, these are the Owens spots. So everywhere when you're going, I'm not going to go over every spot because you can spend hours and hours talking about all the spots along the Owens. But so basically what you're looking for, guys, is everywhere a road goes from east to west. Let's recycle this a little bit so we can get it to reload here. Everywhere you see the road crossing, we're going to wait for that. It's taking its sweet time. Where the road crosses the Owens is the spot where you can fish it, guys. And literally, you don't want to miss that. It's one of the better fishing spots in the Sierra is the Owens. A lot of people overlook it, and it's great. So, like for this spot on the way to Ancient Bristlecone, we'll drop in on it and take a look at it. There's fish in there, guys. There are fish in there. They plant this area, and you can see there's, plenty of spots here to park and check it out. So what you want to do is go into Google Maps and look at the Owens. Follow the Owens from, basically Upper Owens near Mammoth, and just follow it down. And look where you see roads crossing it. Like here's another one right here. Which one is this one? I think it's, Collins is another famous spot. And then you can park and then head over here and fish it. Really bushy in this one. But good pools. You can fish all the way through here. Walk around and, and there's lots of action, guys. Lots of action on the Owens. So yeah, so look for the places where the roads cross over the Owens, and that's all fishable, guys. Anywhere the Department of Fish and Game can get in there. There's warm springs, and of course now we're getting a little bit further north than the lower Sierra, so we'll do an upper Sierra from Bishop north. But so basically a Big Pine Creek. You can even fish up there near Big Pine where the road ends in Big Pine is pretty good. They got some small ponds. I don't know if we can pick it up here. Let's see. It's pretty far up here. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, see, there's the Big Pine Campground, the Glacier Lodge. This little pond here, right near where the lodge used to be, before it burned down, there's a little pond here. It's pretty good fishing. There used to be a big lodge here, and a long time ago it burned down. I actually saw that lodge when I used to fish the Sierra a long time ago, and I should have taken some pictures because it's gone. So that's it, guys, from Big Pine down. So you got all the creeks: Big Pine, Lone Pine, George, Sims, Shepherd, and then Diaz Lake, Cottonwood Creek, and then all the fish traps. So that's it, guys. Get out there, use Google Maps, very important to match it up with recent reports. That'll help you out a lot. There's some other spots in there, but like I said, I can't just go over all of it. It's already 16 minutes long, just covering just these little areas. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you have any questions, post up and I will help you guys out. No questions too stupid, just post up, and we'll do the best we can to help you guys out. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Get out there to fish. We'll see you on the water.